Guys, so I want to introduce another manifesting strategy that is a little bit different. So we all know what a bucket list is. A bucket list is where we list down all the experiences and accomplishments we'd like to achieve in this lifetime. And they can be super motivating and exciting and all of that. However, that is true if you are vibrating high, or if you're feeling very optimistic, or if you feel like you made good traction on your bucket list. This can be amazing. However, what if your bucket list is just a reminder of what you haven't accomplished? You know, like for me, I have a really crazy bucket list and I love it and it's exciting. But if you're feeling a little bit misaligned with your, with your goals and with your overall life vision, then, sometimes it's supposed to motivate you and sometimes it can actually do the opposite. So a reverse bucket list is basically where you write down everything you've already accomplished. And that gives you a sense of accomplishment. It shows you what you are capable of. And it's just a reminder of your ability to manifest. And it's a really, really powerful tool because a lot of times, remember how we talked about the brain as a problem-solving mechanism? So your brain will more likely think about the things that you haven't accomplished and will hold on to the criticisms of other people rather than the things you have accomplished and the compliments you get from people. It's just, that's the way that it's geared, unfortunately. So we need to consciously do things to counter that, inclination. So a reverse bucket list is really freaking awesome for that. So let's get into it. Well, okay, so let's talk about why it's effective, and I kind of covered it. It boosts your self-esteem, it gives you a sense of accomplishment, and it maintains your motivation, right? So we're more motivated towards something when we feel we are capable of doing it. If we don't feel like we're capable of doing it, our motivation is gonna go down, which is why sometimes when we're not vibrating high, a bucket list can have the opposite effect on us. Now, the other reason is that research shows that it helps us feel happier. Okay, so, well, yeah, being happier is a good thing, but remember when we talk about manifestation, everything is about vibration. Everything is about how aligned you are with the thing that you want to create. So if I want to manifest something, and usually what we never want to manifest some low vibe thing. It's always some really high vibe thing. So if I want to manifest this really high vibe experience or accomplishment, and I'm not vibrating that high right now, so I'm vibrating here, my accomplishment is here, well, what's going to bridge that gap? Well, feeling happier. When you feel happier, you automatically become more in alignment with the thing that you're trying to achieve or manifest or attract. Does that make sense? So you want to get in vibrational resonance. So that's literally all of the strategies that I go through are about your vibration. Because that's what it actually comes down to. We know, and we probably have experienced situations where we have done all the things. We have done the strategies. I certainly have. I'm certainly have been that, over strategy person where it's okay, list of to-dos, here's my strategy, here's different angles, here's my freaking mind map, here's how it coordinates with this and all of that, and you still don't manifest. Well, if I'm coming from a place of disbelief, or if I'm coming from a low vibration and what I'm trying to achieve is a high vibration, then there's no action can make up for misaligned vibration. No amount of action, no amount of strategy, no amount of affirmations will make up for being out of alignment with what we are trying to achieve. So let's get straight into how we create a bucket list. So a reverse bucket list. So like step one is give it a cool title. And I thought it was cool because like I always called mine my reverse bucket list, and I'm like, well, that's like kind of inspiring, but not really. So you might want to be like 50 things that make me awesome, 100 epic things I've achieved or I've accomplished or I've experienced. So pick a name that like excites you, that resonates with you, that feels good, that you know, that you like, that's just a little bit creative, but that's in alignment with you and kind of reflective of the reverse bucket list that you're going to write. And then with this is include anything that you're proud of. So step two is include anything that you're proud of in the beginning, okay? Because sometimes, again, we don't want to take this activity too seriously. Like we don't want to be like, okay, so I'm only going to list all the marathons and degrees that I've achieved and, you know, the promotions that I've received and all the exotic places that I've traveled to and the amount of money that I earned. And like, don't take it too seriously because it's going to have the adverse impact that we want it to have. It's gonna make you feel like you haven't accomplished as much as you really have. And remember, the idea of this is to pick up on things that you've accomplished. And I wanna broaden that scope to include anything you feel good about. Sometimes when we think of accomplishment or achievement, it's too much in this professional and success terms. F that, okay? Success is fulfillment. So if you have done something, for example, like a family holiday that people like still talk about, let me use myself for an example. Like I, you know, try to do really awesome things for Aaliyah. Like I want to take her traveling. She's been to some exotic, cool places. Like, but those are not the things she remembers. The stuff that I think are really freaking awesome are never the things that she actually remembers. Her like best memory is a time that Dan and I took her down south and we went to the farm and she fed the animals. So something you might want to include in your bucket list is like the family holiday you took that everybody still talks about. You know, you helping a friend, you volunteering for something. You know, like make it broad, make it anything that you feel like proud of, good about. That's the idea, is like you're meant to feel good, big and small. Don't narrow it too much just to like money or professional stuff, or you know what I mean? Like this like life experience is holistic. You know, there's a reason that we have when we write like a life master plan. There's a reason when we write, you know, a vision for our future, that it encapsulates things like spirituality, family, you know, obviously growth, like obviously your professional life, all these things, because we are like multi-dimensional beings, and our fulfillment and success comes from many, many different things. So make sure you take that scope of things when you're doing this list. It might even be that you overcame something. Or you learned a powerful lesson from something where other people would have played a victim. There's so many ways in which we can find success. And so we can find references to support any freaking belief that we want. And right now, the belief that we are instilling in ourselves is that we are powerful creators, that we are capable of incredible things. And so we need to follow suit by having like a full list of awesome stuff. Okay, step number 3 is organize your list. Now, you may not want to if you chose to only have 20 things or 10 things or whatever. Like it may not work for you, but what I found useful is to categorize them, like after I've done a whole list, like, you know, went to Bali for a spiritual retreat, did this for my personal development, worked with these coaches or coached these many people, whatever it is, like that made me feel good. I actually like to put them into categories. Now, the reason I would suggest to do categories is because depending on what you're trying to manifest in that moment, you actually will need different levels of inspiration. For example, if you're trying to manifest an ideal partner, looking at like a huge list of like a bunch of professional accomplishments isn't probably going to give you the right inspiration that you need. But the fact that you've had like different emotional or relational or intimacy wins on there could inspire you. Does that make sense? Same thing, like if you're trying for a professional or financial goal, like you want to just focus on the thing that's going to actually inspire you rather than all the other like family stuff and spiritual stuff that maybe not as inspiring at the time. Remember when we talked about with the vision board, you want space, you want clarity, you want decluttered. So when you, like, to me, organizing your reverse bucket list is kind of like a form of decluttering, in that you can be like, okay, I want to manifest this. Where are my examples of something similar? Does that make sense? And then the final step is to read your freaking list. So I have mine in like my Dropbox. I also printed mine out and I fold it like in my journal because it's like my journal's smaller. So I fold it, but have it like readily available to yourself. Like if you feel comfortable to have it and you have a family and you feel comfortable to hang it on your walls, do that. If you live alone, I certainly would recommend it. Put it in your bedroom, put it somewhere where you can see it. Like give yourself that sense of accomplishment. Using something like this and then using a vision board as well is like double whammy, super, super powerful. So I hope that helps. Remember, it is all just about getting into that vibration of knowing just how freaking powerful you are. Knowing that you've achieved awesome shit in your life. Knowing that you are capable, so capable of achieving anything that you want in your life. And the way that we do that, the way that we get into vibrational alignment with that belief is just to look at examples of where we've done stuff that maybe even surprised us in the past. So good luck with this exercise.